Welcome everyone to my new Lucid trading prop firm video presentation. Today we're going to take care about their LucidFlex new product, explain you the way it works with all the details needed for you to be completely informed. If you still have questions, let me know in the comments area and feel free to join our prop firm community on Discord. It's pretty much for free. So before we get started, I wish you a happy Thanksgiving time, a blissful moment. It's 27th of November. And of course, their new product is launching tomorrow on 28th, valid through December 3rd. Keep that in mind. I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. Might be allowed to repurchase or might continue, or I don't know. Certainly, we're going to keep you updated. So that's why make sure to join our community, guys. Before we get into the subject, we've got a Discord community. We've got a YouTube community. On YouTube, we do daily giveaways of Lucid accounts for free on our live stream show. The live stream starts on 8 a.m. EST time, so feel free to join us. We're trading live and we're doing basically giveaways as well. For maximum discount on Lucid and other firms as well, utilize the coupon code SCRAMBLE. The link and the code is in the comments area for the best numbers out there. So let's get into the subject, guys. This is a product which is having no consistency on its funded stage. I'll start with that one because that's a big one. No consistency on the funded stage, no payout target on the funded stage. You can request your payout without having a payout target. A payout target or a profit target is something that 99% of the companies are having, especially in the funded level. So LucidFlex is a evaluation challenge model that you have to first pass and then become funded. It's not an instant funding model. Lucid prop firm is having an instant funded, and that's marked with the Lucid Direct, right? So in that case, you need instant funding accounts. But their new product here is the Lucid Flex representation. There is 50% consistency, let's put it that way. So 50% consistency on all the accounts existent. Daily loss limit, nothing. Account activation fee, nothing. It's free. So you just pay the amount as a one-time fee, and that's it. No monthly fee, no activation once you pass your challenge. You just pass your challenge, and in about 5 to 30 minutes, as usual, you're eligible to activate your funded account, and you start trading in the funded account, basically. So passing the challenge means to touch the profit target. The profit target is usually at 6% from your account size, right? So the 50K is 6%, 100K is 6%, 150K is 6% as well, which are, from my standpoint, a 50K and 150K are the best accounts, and you will see why, considering the pricing, targets, max losses, and of course the amount of money you can take out of the system, and with all the conditions coming after. So the 150K obviously gives you that edge to make significant amount of money. Keep in mind, you can have unlimited evaluations, unlimited, but you can only have 5 funded on the entire Lucid platform, no matter from which product you have them. Totally combined or not combined, doesn't matter. Max 5 funded. If you got Lucid Flex, for example, if you buy 10, you want to take advantage of this, you think it's a great deal. You buy 10, you do copy trading on all the 10, you can do that. You start basically trading them, and you are passing all the 10. What do you do if you can only trade 5 into the funded stage? Well, the rest of the 5 will be paused until you have room in the funded stage. That's the way it works. Everything that's above 5 is going to be paused. So this is where we are, guys, with a profit target on 6% for most of the accounts. The 5% profit target is on the 25K, which is obviously dealing with way lower numbers out there. It's $60 per the account. It's not that cheap considering that with at 190s, you get a total different business, right? So this 25K is not 20, 30 bucks and delivering such high returns. Certainly that's also quite a decent amount of money. And the lack of max loss limit, for example, for the 25K is why some people do not prefer that. It's just $1,000 for the max loss for the 25K. However, I'd like to zoom in and show you basically there is a difference here in the max loss and profit target for the 50K, which is why I'm convinced this is going to be enjoyed by the people. The $78 50K the gap between the max loss and the profit target is not half, like the way it is for the 100K or the 150K, right? So this is more than half. Half would be basically 1,500 max loss limit, and you got a $2,000 level. That's $500 extra, right? So for all the other accounts, especially 150K, 100K, you got basically half distance, which is 3% max loss limit. Great. Drawdown type is end of the day, which means your max loss is not going to trail during the day at all. And consistency is 50%. So they have also mentioned that you can pass your evaluation in 2 days. It's possible, right? So let's talk about other things as well. There's a lot. And getting started basically with the evaluation stage. So you buy the account, you're part of an evaluation, you need to touch your profit target. As soon as you hit your profit target, you qualify to be funded without touching your max loss limit, respecting the consistency. This is the place basically where it says the Lucid Flex evaluation's 50% consistency has cushion built in. So you can pass in 2 days, right? You can pass in 2 days. It's mentioned right there. You don't need to do exactly, for example, you got 9,000 target. You don't need to do exactly 4,500 in both days to be passing down. Probably with 4,520 and 4,530 or 35 or 40s, you can pass your challenge, I guess, right? If not, the next day you just do $20 and you're already moved into the next funded stage, right? So keep that in mind. There's real-time activation and nothing to be paid to become funded. So that real-time activation means that within the same day you will be able to trade your funded account once you pass your challenge. No monthly fees, no rebilling, nothing like that. Just don't touch your max loss limit. There is no daily limit, and that's it. Keep the sizing. I mean, it's sufficient. 10 minis, it's obviously sufficient. 10 minis basically means $200 a point, right? If we do the math here, $200 a point on NASDAQ. If we do the math, we need to do 4,500 if we want to cross this in 2 days. If we don't want to cross this in 2 days, it's not an issue, but I'll just do the math. 4,500 divided to 200 is basically 22.5 points, 23 points, and you're covered. 23 points today, 23 points tomorrow, and you're good to go. In both days, you should not lose that 22 points. So pretty much you're fighting 4,500 against 4,500 for 2 days, because that's your max loss, and that should be your target as well. If you want to pass it in 2 days, you can pass it in 5 days, 7 days, 20 days, it doesn't matter. But most of the people go for as quickly as possible. The funded account, well, very important that the max loss limit is going to be kept. It remains there. It's still respected, the same values. Daily loss limit, none. Scaling plan, yes, which means that the possibilities for you to increase your sizing that you're trading, there is a scaling plan model if you want to increase and deal with higher sizings on your funded account. There is no consistency. Keep that in mind. It's incredible. Like if you got consistency on the evaluation phase, 50%, but there's no consistency on the funded. You know what that means? And we're going to get into the subject with the payouts. If you have a good trade, let it run. And this is the big difference, guys. I mean, this Lucid Flex is going to be enjoyed by tons of people, because what is missing amongst the prop firms is the environment where we let the winners run. The problem with the consistency means that we got to cut our profits in order to fit that consistency percentage. And in a realistic environment of trading with personal funds, that's a mistake. Cutting your profits early is a mistake. You don't need to respect the consistency on a personal funding stage, right? We've got personal money, you let it run as much as it's possible, as much as is offering the markets. Well, here, if you still have a good edge and a good probability for the markets to continue in your direction that you predicted, you got to cut it when there is a consistency. When there is no consistency, you don't need to cut it. So their funded stage is not having consistency. But of course, we want to talk about their payouts, which is why most of the people, what most of the people care about. The profit split is 90% to 10, right? So 90 to 10, I mean, this is pretty much standard to the space of the prop firms nowadays. It's certainly not a problem. You get 90% of whatever you cash out. 10% remains with the company. Trading days, basically there's two criteria to qualify for a payout. Number one is the trading days, and keep in mind you can only qualify for a payout from a funded stage. You don't qualify for a payout from an evaluation challenge phase. The evaluation challenge phase has the objective to pass the challenge and become funded. The funded stage has the objective to reach the payout conditions and request money, make money, right? So traders must earn at least a minimum required profit on 5 separated trading days, right? That's the only thing you got to do here. 5 separated trading days. Based on the account size, there is a minimum profit per day on these situations. So for the 150K and the 50K, 50K, you got to produce $150 per day for 5 days. For $250 is on the 150K, right? 150, 250. Make that 250 for 5 days and you're eligible to request a payout if you want to request a payout there. But I guess most of the people would like to make more because there's obviously a desire to make more money and cash out more money than that. However, if you want to request at that point, you can certainly request at that point, and that's it. It's quite interesting. Quite interesting. If we look at this, your first cycle can be $10,000 or even $3,000 or even $2,000 where you request your payout. Think about, guys. You can make 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, or 3,000. It doesn't matter. And just think about this whole thing, guys. You got no consistency. So if you have a single day that you let it run and you make 3,000 during that day for the 150K account, and the rest of the days, what do I suggest you? Make the minimum and secure the payout. You got 4 more days of 250, which is 1,000, plus 3 you made in a day, that's 4 grand. You can request your payout at 4 grand if you think that's something good, which I believe it's pretty good. Now, let me share with you how much money you can request. But before we talk about that one, there's also another thing here, because I said there are 2 things to qualify: net profit and payout cycle. In each cycle, you have to make at least a single dollar profit to be able to request a payout. At least a single dollar profit. Some of you might wonder, what kind of rule is this? Well, this is a rule which is certainly looking into the 2nd, 3rd, 4th cycles where people need to do that little dollar, at least to be that little dollar in profit. Because you can have your first day can be $2,000 in loss. Your first day in your 2nd cycle, $2,000 in loss. And then the next 5 days for the 150K, you might make only the minimum, $250 each. That's $1,250. But you lost $2,000 in your first day. So after that period of time, your cycle is in minus, right? You're not able to request a payout. You're in minus. You haven't made $1 on that cycle. You've lost more than you've made. Now, if you make at least $1 and you're kind of almost break even on the cycle, you could request your payout to the limits. It doesn't matter that money you're requesting was not made during that cycle and it was made during previous cycles. For example, my first day is a $1,000 loss. And then the next 5 days, I'll make my minimum, $250. That's going to be $1,250 profit, but $1,000 lost in the first day, it's going to be just $250 profit. But what if I have $3,000 left from the previous cycle? I'll have $3,250. Can I request a payout? Yes, I can request my payout. And the payouts are having their minimums and maximums in the following format. The minimum payout you can request is $500. And the maximum payout you can request is 50% of your balance up to a specific limit. Again, 50% of your balance up to a specific limit. So 50% of what you see in your balance can be cashed out up to the limit per account that depending you're trading. The 50K, 100K, 3,000 is for the 150, 2,000 is for the 50K, right? So that value can be max 3,000 and it's always 50% of the balance. So in order for you to take 3,000 out, you have to have in your balance 6,000. And then you take the maximum, right? And comes in quite interesting because I told you, your second cycle, you can only be 250 in profit in that cycle, but you've got 3,000 left from the previous cycle. So you can take it out. You can take actually in your second cycle way more than what you made in your second cycle because of this nice rule. Now, certainly some people, I mean, $6,000 here to be able to take out 3,000 is basically 4%, right? It's basically 4%, 6,000 are taking the maximum out, which kind of means on each cycle, if you want to take the maximum out, you need to be at 156, right? That's where you have to be, at 156. And then you can take the maximum out. But the good part is, in your first cycle, as a funded, you make 4%, you bring it to 156. You remain with 153. You only need in your second cycle to do $3,000 to be able to take out $3,000 again. Because you will be at 156 again, and you can do 50% of your balance. So that's 3,000. And that's a lovely calculation, guys. So first cycle, 4%. Second cycle, 2%. And you're taking your max payout of 3,000. On each account, that's 15 grand. 15 grand. Indeed, it's a 90 to 10 split, so it's 2,700. 2,700 times 5, it's $13,500 net payout on each cycle. You can take 6 payouts before you're moved to live. You do the math here times 6. That's $81,000 already on the table for you guys. What is it required from you? Make 4% on the first cycle of being funded, 2% on all the upcoming cycles, and that's it. 4, 2, 2, 2, keep going like that. Think about it. Only 2%. And that's impressive, guys. And of course, you gotta pass the challenge. But we're specifically already talking about something that is already funded here. 4% and then just 2%. I think that's really valuable out there. By looking at the math, by looking at the numbers. And you got that drawdown, 4,500. I mean, of course, once you cash out, your max loss is gonna lock at your initial balance plus $100. The moment you press the cash out, your maximum loss limit will fly to your initial balance plus $100. It's normal. That's the way it is every single time when we're taking payouts on the prop firms. So no surprise out there. But certainly, you'd like to leave some room, or maybe not. Depends on you guys. Depends on the math. Depends on the numbers you have, depends on your trading conditions, desires, and the way you want to do it. I mean, they only require you 250. If you make $2,000 in 5 days, you can request your payout, because that's basically, giving you the ability, especially. So the power behind this is to do copy trading and especially have 5 accounts. Especially have 5 accounts. Do copy trading, have 5 accounts, and maybe have some more accounts ready to be activated at the time you blow your funded, right? So passing more and more evaluations. Is it worth investing in evaluation accounts? Well, specifically at this crazy prices, certainly it is, because taking 2,700 out, net payout, from a cost of 189 is just, let's divide it. 2,700 to 189 is basically 14.28 times. 14.28 times. Let me give you another very important thing people forget about. So you have the possibility to reset your account, not buy a fresh one. And you can do unlimited resets. So your upcoming purchases will not be the same price. It will be $15 cheaper for the 150K if you go that route, or just $2 cheaper for the 50K. But don't forget about this. You don't need to rebuy the 189, because I saw people doing that. No, you got to reset your 150 account, and you're getting it to trade from scratch, of course. Some people have asked me if they are resetting an account that is in the funded stage. Like, can you reset an account that's in the funded? No. Your reset brings you back to the evaluation, and you can only reset an evaluation, of course. So that's the thing to consider. I mean, if you're making 2,000 and you want to take your 1,000 out, because it's basically 50% of what you got in your balance up to the limit, well, if you're taking 1,000 out from 5 accounts, that's 5 grand. Yeah, making 2,000 in 5 days is just $400 a day. You want to make some quick profits like that? It's possible. If that's what you want, it's possible. I was thinking about something like $4,000 to be made. Maybe not necessarily in 5 days, just allocate yourself a little more. Like, they do allow you to request your payouts after 5 days, and that's very, very quick because you only need that minimum 5 separated days of profit, right? So technically you can go and request a payout after 5 days, correct? If you bring your account to 4 grand and you take out 2,000, think about, on 5 accounts you've copy traded, that's $10,000 net payout. Bringing your account to 4 grand, let's just do the math. What if we say like maybe 6 days? Like, how much are you willing to work for $10,000 net payout? 6, 7 days? If we divide it to 7 days, it's $571 per day. $571 per day without losing 4,500 if we attach that to the max loss, or we can have a personal daily loss limit anywhere else. That's, another thing, another business. But, just looking at this whole numbers and raw numbers, 571 for 7 days, and I'll take 10 grand out is not bad. And then I still have the accounts for the second cycle. So I'll have 2,000 left there, and the max loss is going to be initial balance plus $100. If we're speaking about this 150K, I think that's there's not much drawdown there, but you're nicely profitable. You're nicely profitable because you paid 189 times 5. If that's the only thing you bought, 945, and you're taking out 10 grand. That's more than $9,000 in profit. So there's a whole lot to go there, and still be profitable, right? You can basically force it in a second cycle and build some buffer because you already have profits. So what you can do and what you consider, maybe the first cycle to take your payouts a little earlier, and then construct buffer in your second cycle and third cycle. Or if you construct buffer from the first cycle, your upcoming ones should be a little easier. Depends. The one thing you got to keep in mind here is that the more you expose yourself in the market and the more you're sitting with an active trade, the more you're risking. And at the time you already have the capacity and the possibility to take your payout out, you got to go on the 5 accounts representation here for this whole procedure to be felt nicely in your wallet, guys. Because that 5 accounts is multiplying a lot. So you have 5 funded and just go like that in a copy trading formula. Think about it. If you're taking your first payout, making 5, 6, 7, making 5 grand in a first payout from 5 accounts, it's easy. You just got to do 2,000 on each. 2,000 divided to 5 days is 400. But if we divide 2,000 to 7 days, it's basically $285 a day. Slightly more than what they're requesting. They're, however, requesting $250. These are values that are not huge, guys, and visible for most of the people. Or maybe not most of the people, but for a good chunk of people. Our great community has been pushing basically for larger numbers. I'm also pushing on a live stream for $500, $700 days. We've been working nicely around those values. So I think there is room here to be nicely trading. So I've seen basically their CEO, AG, that we've talked actually on a call nicely. We had an amazing time. He's absolutely a respectable person. And he's explaining here that you certainly need that $1 profit in any cycle. Because, some people might have money from the first cycle, and then they might not make anything in the second cycle. They might be in minus in the second cycle and still want to go for a payout. No, you need at least $1. That's not a big deal. And you take money out that you actually didn't produce in that cycle. That's pretty interesting, guys. Great community out here on our Discord. Make sure to join us, guys. Make sure to be part of the whole process. Scramble coupon code gives you the maximum discount available. Any questions, you're welcome. Any questions, you're certainly welcome. Payout timing and processing. Well, today and currently, Lucid is paying people out in minutes. We've got our community members getting paid in less than 60 seconds most of the time. So they talk about the 2 business days here, but certainly Lucid is usually paying a lot faster. And you know, it's just a lovely model out there. I would say a lovely model out there with a lot to take. I wouldn't say take advantage, but maybe flourish, develop, and improve you as a trader. So this is giving you that necessary freedom that I think is needed here, and it's a key point. Keep in mind, currently we're told that this is certainly available until the 3rd of December 2025. Could be extended, could be stopped for a period of time to do some analysis, and they're going to do some research to see how these accounts are working and what are the adjustments needed. But for the moment, this is pretty much available from 28th till the 3rd. Right, so you've got some days out there. You can load up accounts, unlimited evaluations, trade your evaluations, see your time, have 5 maximum funded at the same time, and enjoy the process. Any other questions, feel free to ask me in the comments area. Join our Discord for free, guys. And all the links in the description area or comments area, coupon code Scramble. What else? That's pretty much all about it. I mean, we've talked about all the things that are important at this level, and I think we can take it forward to the next level. Join on the live stream 8 a.m. EST time. I'm going to trade this accounts and have fun with it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely time. Once again, happy Thanksgiving. Depends when you're watching this video. And wish you the best. We'll talk to you soon.